Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, March 12, 2013. Down in North Carolina, in the eastern part of the state, federal agents yesterday apparently unraveled a massive scheme aimed at defrauding the National Federal Crop Insurance Program of at least $100 million. Arrests were made of insurance agents, claims adjusters, brokers, and farmers in the eastern part of the state. Authorities say that the ongoing investigation is already the largest such ring uncovered in the country. 41 defendants have either pleaded guilty or reached plea agreements with the federal authorities after profiting from false insurance claims for losses of tobacco, soybeans, wheat, and corn. The federal authorities said that the group was operating much akin to a bustling drug cartel, where federal investigators were forced to use a confidential informant to ensnare a key participant in the sophisticated fraud. Last year, in 2012, a record payout for the federal crop insurance program was achieved, some $15.6 billion. That result is still climbing as new claims are coming in. This was a result, of course, of the drought in the U.S. Munich Re CEO Nicholas von Baumhard said that they pulled in a profit of 3.2 billion euros for 2012. He said it was a very good result. He said it was chiefly a result of our proven risk management and disciplined underwriting. Mr. von Baumhard is confident that 2013 is going to see a repeat. He said even though the consolidation of state finances and high unemployment will result in slower economic momentum in many countries, we remain optimistic for our business. For 2013, we are aiming for a result of close to 3 billion euros. The group expects to make a 3.3% return on investment over 2013. They've also targeted a combined ratio of about 94% for its P&C book. I'll tell you, they'll probably achieve it too. There was a pretty substantial earthquake in Southern California yesterday morning. It was a 4.7 on the Richter scale. It was in Riverside County. It was the largest quake to hit the LA region in about 3 years and produced over 100 aftershocks. It caused no major damage, but it was felt over what seismologists termed was an unusually large area. Earthquakes of a 4.7 magnitude are typically only felt about 120 miles away from the epicenter, but this one traveled quite further, about 220 miles, apparently because it occurred in the San Jacinto Mountains, which are composed of hard granite that transmits energy more efficiently. Seismologists are saying that the quake occurred along the San Jacinto Fault, which runs through San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego, and Imperial County, roughly parallel to the famous San Andreas Fault. It's one of 3 faults that absorb friction from the motion of the North American continent and the Pacific plates rubbing against each other. According to seismologists, this quake was pretty typical of the area. Well, Risk Management Solutions, the big catastrophe modeling firm, is going to launch an updated North American hurricane model later this summer. This is going to be new version number 13, targeted for release at the end of July. It's going to include updates to RMS's medium-term hurricane activity rates forecast, as well as storm surge coverage. The updates are based on new scientific research and data. When RMS releases a new version, it typically causes a period of adjustment within the industry. Well, the Catholic Church's cardinals, the 115 of them who are going to elect a new pope, are sitting in the Sistine Chapel right now. According to New York's Cardinal Timothy Dolan, his prediction is that the Catholic Church will have a new pope by Thursday. He said there seems to be hope that we could, with God's guidance, have a new Holy Father by Thursday. This is in spite of the blackout imposed upon him by the Curia. Somebody, I'm sure, is going to say something to him in the conclave. Well, here's an interesting story. A major nuclear disaster in France could cost the French state between 760 billion euros and 5.8 trillion euros. This is according to a confidential report by the French Institute for Radiological Protection and Nuclear Safety. It was published by the weekly Journal du Dimanche, the Sunday Journal. The report was carried out in 2007. It's being updated right now. The obsolete data that it used has an estimate of $760 billion. It refers to an accident on the scale of Chernobyl. Of course, Fukushima has already exceeded that. according to analysts who have looked at this now, with the new data from 2007, with the Japanese incident taken into consideration, the worst case scenario would require the evacuation of 5 million people. Costs could climb to 5.8 trillion euros. Environmental and healthcare costs on top of that could total 4.4 trillion euros. The scenarios focus on the nuclear plant at Dampierre in north-central France. Well, our good ally Pakistan is mixing it up again. Iran and Pakistan have inaugurated the construction of a much-delayed section of a $7.5 billion gas pipeline that would provide Iranian gas directly into Pakistan. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and the Pakistani President Ali Zardari met at the border and celebrated the inauguration of the construction on the pipeline. Pakistan is very dependent on the United States when it comes to provision of weapons, and you can be sure that economic sanctions are going to be levied against them promptly. Well, the story of the Chinese and the pigs keeps growing. Yesterday we reported 2,800 dead pig carcasses on a major river feeder that leads into the drinking supply for Shanghai's 23 million people. Today that figure is up to 3,300 dead pigs. They don't know what's causing the death of the pigs. They don't even know necessarily where the pigs have come from. But the Chinese authorities continue to insist that there is no trouble with the water quality. I repeat my admonition of yesterday: if you are in Shanghai watching this, get bottled water. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.